What's up? This is Brian Pfeiffer, marketingmeathead.com, and today I'm going to talk to you about Facebook ROAS. All right, welcome back. So if you are new to this channel and you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and bang the notifications bell. We do teach how to make money online on this channel, a lot of how-to videos and useful stuff that you can take to the bank. All right, so welcome back, and we're going to talk about Facebook ROAS. ROAS is short for return on ad spend, okay? If you are an e-com guy or getting into e-com, then you're going to really want to understand Facebook ROAS. If you're doing affiliate marketing, ROAS isn't quite as important as cost per lead, and cost per purchase is a little bit different for affiliate marketing. But for ROAS, it's an important thing, and you really need to understand what your ROAS is. And if you know what your ROAS is, then you can basically take a look at your Facebook ad account on your purchase ROAS, and you can determine if you're profitable just by looking at that one number. Okay, and it's a very useful tool. So I wrote a really nice blog post. I'll put a link to that blog post below on exactly what ROAS is, how to determine it, and everything you need for my website, marketingmeathead.com/Facebook/ROAS. Okay, but I'll just put a link below. And I go into this really good, and it talks about a lot of the things. Probably the most important thing is just how do you calculate it. And when you're doing an e-com product campaign, the starting point is your sales price, okay? So say you're going to sell a product at $29.99, and the product actually costs you, $9.99, but that has to include your shipping costs, e-package shipping, whatever you're using, and you're going to have some fees in there for like your Shopify store, your apps and whatnot you're using. There's going to be a credit card processing fee in there. So let's just say, for example, and I did this example in the blog post as well. Let's just say, for example, that the total cost with the cost of goods sold and all the other fees that are mixed into that is going to be $9.99. Okay, so the first thing you got to do is you take your $29.99, which is your sales price, minus the $9.99, which is your cost of goods sold, all inclusive. Okay, and that gives you 20. Okay, and then you take your $29.99 sales price divided by your profit margin, which is actually 20. Okay, and this is your ROAS. Okay, so you have a 1.4995 ROAS. All right, so anytime you're running ads on Facebook, and if your purchase ROAS comes in at above 1.5, basically in this case, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to be just a little bit profitable. Now, ideally, in order to see any kind of real profit, because there's always things that come up, you might have some returns and whatnot in there, you're probably going to want to end up being more above like the 2 ROAS number, more like 2 or 2.5 ROAS, in order to really start seeing some e-com gold, I guess you would call it, in terms of campaigns and stuff. So let me show you an example in one of my ad accounts, just so you can see what I'm doing here. Now, this is a campaign I'm running for New Year's, but it's similar. Now, here's my purchase conversion value, this 34.52.61, and this is what I've spent so far on this particular campaign. This is my retargeting campaign. So I've spent 78.34. That's it, 78.34. So let's go back over here to 78.34. So you go 34.52. Okay, this number right here. We're gonna go 3452.61, and we're going to divide that by what was it, 78.34. Okay, so divided by 78.34. That should put us at a 44.07 ROAS basically. Now let's see if Facebook, they have a column here that's set up just for that, and let's see, where is it at? I have it set up here. Okay, so we're at 43.49. So it's right in the same neighborhood. So yeah, so 43.49 is my purchase ROAS. I came up with about 44. It's pretty much the same thing. So obviously this is a very profitable campaign. This is a high ticket ticket. I mean, I think our tickets are like $89 right now for general admission, and even more for VIP. So, the fact that I've sold 12 tickets, and my total purchase conversion value with fees and everything has come to around 34.52.61. and I've only spent, to make that, just a very minuscule amount, $78. So a ridiculous ROAS here on this particular campaign, but that's kind of expected because these people have visited the website and they're warm visitors, and then I'm hitting them with a bunch of ads on Facebook and trying to get them to come back and actually buy, and it's working pretty well so far. It's 12 purchases, decent. That'll go up significantly in the month of December. But so that's how you calculate ROAS. Now, a couple other things I did want to mention that are important. It's fairly easy to figure this out when you're running a product-based business, but I also have like a services business, okay? And that's when things get a little more dicey when it comes to figuring out your ROAS, because the fact of the matter is a lot of times you don't necessarily know what each particular job is going to be, okay? You might sell something and one guy, your profit margin is like $700 or $800, and then you might do another job where the profit margin is like $100, $150, okay? So the ROAS is really hard to calculate. So what you kind of have to do as a service business owner is you kind of got to take an average of everything, okay? That's what I like to do. And I know my average customer value is somewhere between 300 and 350 roughly. So for every conversion I get, every person that actually books, the average over the course of a year is going to be somewhere between 300 and 350 bucks. Okay, so you can kind of base your calculations on that number. Okay, and if I'm spending 150 bucks to make 300, well, that's still a pretty good return on my investment. Okay, so keep that in mind. But again, you can easily go in and see this purchase ROAS without having to pull out the calculator. You just go into the columns here, and you can do a custom column, and then you just go in here to purchases, okay? And you'll see the purchase ROAS. You want to click the total here, and then the value, unique cost, however you want to set it up. You can play around with these settings, and you'll see that I have a custom column already made here for my New Year's Eve purchases. So I already have it set up the way I want it, so I can see what's going on, how much I'm paying, how much I'm getting in conversions, how many purchases, cost per purchase, and stuff like that. So I have that all set up already, and it works well for me. So hopefully you guys got something out of today. I mean, I really wanted to break this ROAS calculation down for you because it is super important if you're running e-com stuff, and even if you're running a service business, you really need to understand what your ROAS is based on your average customer value. And I would advise you to go and look at this blog post, read it over. I went really in depth about how it works and how to calculate it and all that stuff. So you can always come back and refer to this blog post. If you guys don't know, I have a really nice blog, and I have everything kind of broken down by category here. This would be under the Facebook traffic because generally I put anything that has to do with Facebook. Typically, Facebook ROAS obviously is going to have to do with Facebook, but I got a ton of other blog posts here that are very valuable, and I got a lot of stuff on different subjects in here. So maybe a lot of you didn't even know that I have a blog, but I have a pretty hefty blog. It's getting some decent traffic, and it's starting to grow a little bit. So I have a full resources section here on some of the affiliate networks I use. I just upgraded my Mac, which is in transit right now. I haven't even received it yet, but I went ahead and put the new Mac that I got in here, the physical gear. I got the 64 gig of RAM Mac coming with the 9-core processor and 8 terabyte of storage. Kind of ridiculous, but yeah, that's coming. And I got a lot of really cool stuff on this blog. So I got a story about me from the get-go, how I started. I got a free affiliate course on here too. If you want to go ahead and click on this, I got a video, and then I got access to the free training. If you just click on this, it's 18 chapters. It teaches you how to do affiliate marketing A to Z for free. And just my staff and about me, some books that I've read. I recently read Jim Edwards' Copywriting Secrets. Is pretty good. I'm getting ready to start another book this weekend here, and I always update this whenever I finish a book, so you guys can kind of keep up with me on what I'm reading, what I'm seeing out there. And if I do any products and I do you go through any trainings or whatnot, I put them here. Now I just went through a training, and I may or may not do a review on it. I probably will do a review on it actually at some point. It's a good thing to put up on the blog here. But yeah, so this is the blog post. I'd love to for you guys to give me some love on this. I do spend a lot of time, my team and I, on creating these blog posts and making sure they're really good quality. And the more traffic we get, the more Google's going to give us love. So maybe put this into your. There's a nice tool out there called Feedly. If you guys haven't heard of Feedly, this is a good tool. I use it. I'm a pro member. It's not that expensive. It's only probably $50 a year or something, a couple bucks a month. And Feedly actually is a good place to put your blogs that you're keeping up on. Okay, like I have I have a bunch here that I keep up on, like Ad Espresso is a good one. Marketing Land's a pretty good one. Search Engine Journal is a good one. Obviously, there's mine, Marketing Meathead. I have that in there. So you guys can pull my feed in, and you can actually see my, that's a recent post from me, the Facebook ROAS came in yesterday. And then whenever, instead of just going to my blog, you can actually go in and just look in your, into the different feeds that you keep track of, and you can see any new articles that have come in. If you find it interesting, go ahead and read it. If not, you just go on to the next one. So here's some other ones: CXL, ad leaks, just a lot of good stuff, man. Honestly, there's so much stuff out online. There's no way possible you could possibly keep up on reading all this. So I glance at it once in a while, and I see an article that pertains to me, and I might read through it. And I'm sure there's stuff that I missed, but it is what it is. I mean, you only have so many hours in the day, so it is a good place to keep up on your latest and greatest reading. I recommend using this little website called Feedly. Okay, so it's feedly.com. And I'm not an affiliate for them or anything. I just like the service, so it just pulls in the feeds. It's kind of like a feed aggregator. So hopefully you guys got some out today. I didn't mean to ramble on about that, but I'm the Marketing Meathead. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. Go ahead and bang that notifications bell, and make sure you like this video. Share it with a friend if you found it valuable. Talk to you soon. Bye.